News in detail. Faithful members of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun State have been charged not to close their doors on members of other political parties, beckoning on them for admittance into the party. The state chairman of the party, Chief Yemi Sanusi, gave this charge at the meeting of Party Faithful in Odeda. The senatorial candidate of APC, Alhaji Shuaib Afolabi Salisu Ogun Central, attended the meeting. Fowora Adeson will report.
A family meeting dotted by home fruits and laced with a lot of encouragement. 10-ward leadership in Odeda local government area of Ogun State at a crucial meeting with stalwarts of the All Progressive Congress in Ogun State towards a successive 2023 general elections. State chairman of the party, Chief Yemi Sanusi, admonished members to work closely knitted to keep the party in power at the central, state and local government levels.
The first election is very, very important because all election is bandwagon.
Chief Muslumi Saka, the chairman of APC in Odeda local government area, stressed the need for APC members not to tolerate thuggery and vulgarism as campaigns gather momentum for 2023 general elections. The senatorial candidate of APC Ogun Central, Shuaib Afolabi Salisu, assured members that dividends of democracy will get to everyone's doorstep in due course.
People of Odeda local government, let me assure you, better days ahead. We are moving to an era that for the very first time, we are going to have a president that's from the APC, is from Southwest, and it's also from a neighboring state. Just imagine Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the president. It will not be difficult to call his attention to Adato Ibadan Road that passes to Odeda. He will repair those roads, he will reconstruct the roads.
Honorable Ludaisi Elemide, a House of Assembly candidate, lauded the members for their maturity and commitment towards the progress of the party. Honorable Elemide and some other party members say APC has what it takes to provide good governance under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency.
It's all about election, sensitization of our people, coming together to fashion out a way how to handle the election and how to be successful at the polls.
Our governor happened to be a very quiet, easygoing person, and we appreciate him for that. And because of that, we are so committed to him.
I'm highly optimistic that our team in Odeda local government will deliver and deliver 100% to the APC.
The 10 wards are among 74 others in Ogun Central Senatorial District.
Through technical support from practitioners who can advise government appropriately, Talabi emphasized the need to sit together with the representatives of the institutions so that both parties make contributions and be involved in the processes that will culminate into lasting solution, as well as for mutual understanding on decisions that would be reached. On the issue of delayed issuance of CFO for the university, which it had applied for since 2007, the SSG said though the application predates the administration yet, it could have been ready, but for the total overhauling and reconstruction and restructuring that the Governor Abeokuta-led administration has put in place on land administration to sanitize the sector in the state, adding that document can be presented and represented to show commitment. Earlier, the Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Elijah Ayolabi, had shared a video evidence of the flooded area at the permanent site of the school, revealing that these usually arise when there is an overflow of water from the Ogun River, which percolates to nearby rivers around the school, including Ipam-Moriti River, leaving most parts of the school submerged in water. In the meantime, the people of Ogun State, particularly those living in flood-prone areas, have been assured of their safety for the remaining parts of the rainy season for this year. This assurance came from the management of Oyo Dam in Abeokuta while hosting the State Commissioner for Environment, Engineer Olaore-Sonya. Engineer Ore-Sonya said he was on a fact-finding mission on the operations of the dam and the safety of the people of the state. At a period, a number of states in the Federation are facing serious environmental challenges, particularly flooding. Fowora Adesonwu has more on the report.
Fowora Adesonwu, OGTV News.
The Remo Traditional Council, led by the Akarigbo and paramount ruler of Remo land, Oba Babatunde Ajayi, gave a nod for Governor Dapo Abiodun's second-term re-election as a way to further support and appreciate his developmental approach to governance in his state. The governor, while appreciating the monarchs for passing the vote of confidence on his government, promised not to let them down, but continue to be inclusive and responsive in his approach to governance by providing for the people of the state in all sectors. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ghani report.
Traditional ruler's stool is a great symbol of power, leadership and authority, commanding the respect and loyalty of the people underneath the royalty. The State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun and some members of the State Executive Council joined the statutory meeting of Remo Traditional Council at Akarigbo's Palace in Shagamu, where the Obas appreciated the current administration in the state for the developmental approach towards shaping and improving the socio-economic growth of the state.
That we are solidly behind Governor Dapo Abiodun, and whenever he needs us, any moment, any time, that we are there for him. And by God's grace, we shall not leave him desolated.
In terms of infrastructure and every other thing, he has done so well. We appreciate him for all that he has done, and we don't have option than to support him for the second time in office.
The Akarigbo and paramount of Remoland, Oba Babatunde Ajayi, said the decision for the Traditional Council to give a nod for Governor Abiodun's second-term bid was an investment well deserved.
This is fairness, this is justice, and this is equity. And to share equally for Gbogbo Agbegbogu State, killer and fair. And like the governor said, he said one thing, he said, our investment has paid off. So, Excellency, we are going to bank with you. You are a good banker. I will invest in you for another tenure.
Governor Dapo Abiodun, overwhelmed by the singular action, described the endorsement as a special one coming from his own base, which, according to him, would spur him to do more for the development of the entire state.
Because this is a vote of confidence that indeed the royals are happy with me. And you know they are the closer to the grassroots. They feel the pulse of our people. They are the ones that know things before it even happens. So when they do an act like this, it speaks a lot of volumes. I can only be further inspired by more and also thank them for what they have done by supporting me and for their continued support.
The governor later joined the Onigbekpa of Igbekpa Shagamu, Oba Samuel Oladele Daudu, in cutting his 80th birthday cake.
78, 79, 80.
Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
You're still watching the comprehensive news for the day on Ogun State Television. Still ahead, the federal government failed to reach out-of-court settlement with ASHOD towards bringing dividends of democracy to the entire people of the state, and at the same time carry all stakeholders along through a stakeholders meeting with various community development committees to know their immediate challenges and find a lasting solution to them. The State Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperatives, Honorable Abayomi Hunye, stated this during the familiarization tour and stakeholders meeting with members of community development associations in Abeokuta North local government. Benga Dekoya was with the entourage, and his report is presented in this package. Abeokuta North Zonal Community Development Committee, comprising 13 area CDCs with various community development associations under its jurisdiction, played host to the team from the State Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, headed by the Commissioner in the Ministry, Honorable Abayomi Hunye. The State Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperatives, Honorable Abayomi Hunye, said Prince Dapo Abiodun institution remains committed towards bringing governance closer to the people at the grassroots, saying all the 20 local government will receive at least 5 transformers.
He said, let the community development department do the distribution, call who are necessary to know about it, so that there won't be rancor, so that everybody, the government will know, you will know the importance of this government, and you will know that this government really appreciates all your effort. So let's give it to him, that he has considered us very, very important in the scheme of things.
Some of the stakeholders present at the meeting described the development as a good initiative, noting that the state had never had it so good this way.
We are trying to develop our area, and we are closer to the grassroots, and we are the one that can, through which we can make sure, our people at the grassroots level enjoy the dividend of democracy.
People's voices are being clearly heard. Their requests are being met with the structure and strategy that the governor have put in place. People are self-reassured that one way or the other, they will eventually all be looked after.
The entourage of the commissioner later embarked on a site visit to some beneficiary communities. Among the communities visited were Ifedapo CDA, Ogun Radio Ayetoro Road, Orelope Ifetedo CDA, a community which has been in existence for over 12 years without electricity supply.
Community yati wa mbina ti bi ọdún mẹ́wàá sẹ́yìn. So adé ń gbìyànjú láti pé káàrí náà lò kárí náà ìjọba lò, ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run tí kádàrá pé kárí lò. Ṣùgbọ́n báyìí inú wa dùn, aláyọ̀, a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà wa tí wọ́n pé wọ́n ti rántí wa.
The tour ended with a visit to Iriayo CDA, Idimango Kiata, Idiori, Oluwambe Central CDA, and Harmony CDA, Ulomori area, Abeokuta. Ogun State government will ensure the full force of the law descend on anyone caught engaging in cultivation of illegal and banned substance in any of the government forest. Commissioner for Forestry, Honorable Taiwo Uludoton, gave this warning while witnessing the burning of cannabis sativa farm in Imoba village within J3 Reserve in Ijebu East local government, which involved various security chiefs of the state. Details will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. In continuation of the consideration of the audit report of ministries, departments, and agencies of government in Ogun State, the State House of Assembly has commended the management team of the Tai Sholarin College of Education, Umu-Ijebu, for surpassing its approved revenue target for the 2015-2020 financial years. The chairman of committee, Honorable Musefio Lamidi, gave the commendation shortly after examining the financial statement of the institution within the period under review as presented by the Provost, Dr. Adiola Kiadishe, at the Assembly Complex, Ukimoso, Abeokuta. Correspondent Kola Oliosho covered the exercise. Details are in this package.
Chairman, Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption, Honorable Musefio Lamidi, alongside other members of the committee, while considering financial records and audit report of Tai Sholarin College of Education, Umu-Ijebu, for year 2020, lauded the institution for its innovation and effective service delivery, in addition to ensuring probity and judicious utilization of funds as clearly indicated in the capital and recurrent expenditure lines of its financial records.
Tai Sholarin College of Education. And when we look at their book, we're very happy for their performance regarding their internally generated. They surpassed their budget, and we are very happy about that.
The provost of the institution, Dr. Lukman Kiadishi, appreciated the committee for standing up to expectation, while assuring them that the management of the institution would continue to strive hard in making the institution the best, among others. In a related development, the House Committee also examined the year 2020 financial records of the State College of Health Technology, Ilese Ijebu, as presented by the management team led by the acting provost, Dr. Aziz Shoingbe. The committee directed the college to submit its cash inflows and outflows for the period under review, alongside supporting documents providing details on some grey areas, including its capital and recurrent expenditures, before Thursday, 13th October 2022.
With this decision to release it, I will still need some documents, supporting documents to back all their CapEx and to see some other areas in their financial reporting. We will be looking forward to submit all these things.
The acting provost, Dr. Aziz Shoingbe, assured the committee that all documents requested for would be made available on the given dates.
And still on education, the Governing Council of the Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye, has approved the appointment of Professor Agbola Ayodeji Johnson as the 11th Vice-Chancellor of the Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye. In a release issued by Registrar and Secretary to the Council, Femi Uguomoju, the appointment was ratified at its 206th special meeting held on Wednesday, 5th October 2022. Professor Ayodeji Olayinka Johnson Agbola, a professor of cancer pathology, was born on 4th July 1970. He was admitted into Ogun State University, now Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye, where he obtained his MB CHP degree in 2001. Thereafter, he had his mandatory housemanship at the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, Shagamu, between 2001 and 2002, and got fully registered with the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, NDCN, and joined the services of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Agoiwoye, as lecturer 2 in May 2002. He was at the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom, where he bagged his master and doctorate degrees in 2007 and 2012. He rose through the ranks and became a professor of cancer pathology in 2016. Apart from teaching various courses in his area of specialization, Professor Ayodeji Olayinka Johnson Agbola has, to his credit, over 50 publications in peer-reviewed journals locally and internationally. He has attended several professional conferences and successfully supervised PhD theses in cancer pathology. The legal team for the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities on Thursday told the Court of Appeal that both parties could not resolve the 8-month-old strike despite the out-of-court settlement as advised by the Appellate Court. The federal government lawyer James Igwe and lead counsel for ASU, Femi Falana, told the Court of Appeal that despite the admonition, they could not resolve the dispute. The presiding judge, Justice Mama, at the end of the day's proceedings, he suggested that the application challenging the ruling of the Industrial Court be heard by the 3-man panel of the Appeal Court. Both parties agreed that the court should hear the application as there was no amicable resolution reached as advised by the court. Ishambi Day serves as a reminder of the age-long rich tradition, culture and heritage of the Ilishan people, which help them to pass on right values of respect, unity and selflessness to the younger generation. This was noted by the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, at the quiz competition and inter-schools debate, one of the events of the ongoing 2022 Ishambi Day celebration. Our reporter, Margaret Okunola, was at Ilishan Town Hall, venue of the event. Her report.
As part of activities lined up to precede the 2022 Ishambi Day, a celebration that serves as a reminder of the great value of the culture and heritage of the Ilishan people, the Ilishan Development Association organized a quiz competition for primary schools as well as debating session for their secondary school counterpart. Being an illustrious daughter of the soil and a role model in her hometown, as well as Ogun State at large, the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, was part of the event. Mrs. Abiodun said values of service to community, respect for elders, and unity are to be successfully passed on to the younger generation for survival of the town through the annual Ishombi Day celebration.
Today, the secondary school quiz competition reminds us of the illustrious sons and daughters of this town who are making positive impacts in our world. This celebration should therefore serve as a reminder that there is a generation coming after us, to whom we must pass the torch of distinction and excellence.
Royal fathers, chiefs, philanthropists, educationists, and other dignitaries present, including the chairman of the State Teaching Service Commission, Evangelist Olalekan Ifede, encouraged parents and students on the importance of prioritizing education.
Knowledge is life. Everything without education, I think it's not complete.
That you are here today is for you to know that a nation cares about you. A nation wants you to succeed. A nation wants to be proud of you.
We keep the flag flying and make sure that our children are well educated. Education is the best.
Winners from all categories were announced and presented with prizes. The one-week event is scheduled to be wrapped up with a grand finale on Saturday, 8th of October, 2022. Margaret Okunlola, OGTV News.
And away from the celebration, now to security matters. As the 2023 general elections draw near, the Nigerian Police Force Ogun State Command has put in place strategies in making sure that 5,042 polling units in the 20 local government areas of the state will be safe before, during, and after the elections. This was the submission of the Commissioner of Police Ogun State, CP Lanre Bankole, during an interactive session with stakeholders in the state at Salebin, Abeokuta. Aderonke Adeyemi report.
Security is the bedrock of every society under which development thrives, but the general public needs a constant engagement to be security conscious at all times. Against this backdrop, the Nigeria Police Force Ogun State Command, in conjunction with Nairoj Multi-Concepts Limited, organizes a stakeholders interactive session with the theme Ogun Beyond 2023. The convener, Commissioner of Police Ogun State, CP Lanre Bankole, says the session is one of the series of engagement for political actors and members of the public at ensuring a peaceful electioneering process.
The public should partner with the law enforcement agencies in ensuring that electioneering campaigns are devoid of rancor, they are devoid of violence.
Stakeholders enjoin residents to be security conscious and shun all forms of violence during election.
The fight against insecurity must be holistic. It is against this background that I want to appeal to the government at all levels that as they want to stem the tide, they should also pay attention to the root causes of insecurity.
We have to vote for people who will convince us, not people who will name us. So let us come out and campaign on issues that we feel will sway voters.
They added that protection of electoral officers, election materials and precedent is key at ensuring stability of the election processes.
Also very important in this task ahead, and that is why any platform at all that is created, let us continue to engage, to educate ourselves.
It's not only about debating, it's about to desensitize people about the choice of the masses come 2023.
Before the election, all of us will be clear-headed about our mandates. You know, security must protect the men and materials. INEC must ensure that the process is guaranteed and the results justify the vote of the people.
The session also created an avenue for critical stakeholders to engage on issues relating to security during elections, and afterwards, awards were presented to key groups and individuals that have contributed immensely to crime fighting and maintenance of peace in Ogun State. Aderonke Adeyemi, OGTV News.
And this is just coming in. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has returned to the country from the United Kingdom. Tinubu was said to have traveled to London for intensive political consultations and meetings. Critics had claimed that Tinubu's absence when political campaigns have begun suggests there might be issues, while others claim he was on a medical visit to the UK. The House of Representatives has commenced a probe of federal government properties in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, while declaring the probe open on Thursday, said the investigation became imperative owing to a large number of abandoned or underutilized government properties across the country. Gbajabiamila, who was represented by the Chairman House Committee on Legislative Agenda, Henry Nwauba, said the abandoned properties, if properly managed, will be of immense benefit to the country. Across the country, several properties belonging to the federal government of Nigeria have been abandoned and others severely underutilized for many years. The federal government of Nigeria possesses a large stock of abandoned properties that could become viable assets for the benefit of Nigerian people if managed properly. The House of Representatives has since resolved to help identify this asset and take legislative action to help ensure they are either put to good use or transferred to provide income for the federal government of Nigeria. Rivers State House of Assembly has passed a motion to de-recognize Celestine Omehia as the former governor of the state. The Rivers House of Assembly Thursday passed a motion seeking to remove the status of former governor from Celestine Omehia, who served as governor of Rivers between May 29 to October 24, 2007, when he was removed by the famous landmark Supreme Court judgment that replaced him with his cousin, Rotimi Chibuike Amechi. The motion to de-recognize Omehia as former governor was moved by the leader of the House, Martin Amewule. The 8th Assembly, under the same Governor Nyesom Wike administration, on June 30, 2015, passed a resolution which compelled the executive arm headed by Governor Wike to recognize Omehia as the former governor and be accorded all entitlement, privileges and benefits. In Thursday's motion, Amewule argued that the continued recognition of Omehia in that capacity could be a breach of the Supreme Court judgment, which in 2007 removed Celestine Omehia as a governor for not being the duly elected candidate in that year's governorship election. Up next is business segment of the news shortly after this time out with Okpeyemi Adewumi. Please stay with us.
It's a pleasure to welcome you to the business segment of the news. The United States government has criticized the decision by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies to cut monthly oil output by 2 million barrels per day in November. In a statement, the White House National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, and National Economic Council Director Brian Dess said President Joe Biden was disappointed by the short-sighted decision by the OPEC Plus to cut production quotas while the global economy is dealing with the continued negative impact of Putin's invasion of Ukraine. It indicated the U.S. government may take steps against OPEC monopoly of global oil prices. Sequel to this action, the Biden administration would also consult with Congress on additional tools and authorities to reduce OPEC control over energy prices, the statement had. Earlier on Wednesday, OPEC and its allies agreed to cut oil output by 2 million barrels per day in November. It is the deepest cut by OPEC Plus since the 2020 COVID pandemic. The decision came despite pressure from the United States and others for the group to pump more. OPEC said it took the decision in the light of the uncertainty that surrounds the global economy and oil market outlook, and the need to enhance the long term for the oil market. The court aimed at shoring up prices that fell as low as $90 recently, means production quota to producers like Nigeria will be reduced. Nigeria has for months failed to meet higher quotas due to massive oil theft and other production problems. The Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas said it was evaluating a directive by the Senate for the company to pay the sum of 18.4 billion naira as compensation of some host communities. The Senate declared NLNG to pay the said sum to about 200 families whose farms in Bonny River State were acquired for pipeline rights of way. The directive was sequel to the consideration and adoption of a report by the Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions that investigated a petition by the communities. The community chairman, Senator Patrick, in his report has said following its incorporation, the NLNG acquired landed properties in the state spanning over 210 kilometers for use as a pipeline's right of way, which ended at the export terminal of the NLNG in Bonny local government of the state. The first Nigerian power company to list on its Nigeria Exchange Limited, Geregu Power PLC, traded for the first time on the stock market and gained 10% at the close of trading. This was despite 0.09% drop in market capitalization. The Nigerian Exchange Limited had earlier announced the listing by introduction of Geregu Power PLC on the main board of the exchange. The total of 2.5 billion ordinary shares of Geregu were listed at the 100 naira per share under the utility sector and electric power generation subsector of NGS with the trading symbol Geregu. While boosting liquidity in the Nigerian capital market and providing opportunities for wealth creation, the admittance of Geregu shares has subsequently added 250 billion naira to NGS market capitalization. Meanwhile, at the inspection of 4 major power transmission substations in various locations in Abuja, the federal government declared that it was disappointed by the output of the contractor handling the core substation meant to feed others. It, however, stated that upon completion of the project before December this year, the substations and other new transmission lines will boost electricity evacuation capacity by about 2,282 megawatts. The government disclosed this through its transmission company of Nigeria when officials of the firm led by their managing director, Sule Abdulaziz, embarked on an inspection of the project ahead of the planned inauguration of the facilities. And that was the business news. Many thanks for watching. We now go back to Simiat Abaru for the rest of the bulletin. Stay with us.